You're a triathlete and super frustrated, looking to get faster at your next race, but not sure what to do next. On top of that, you feel that everybody knows their race nutrition and hydration, and you're not quite sure what to do. I've felt your pain, and I've been there doubled over in a race, and I've learned a lot. That gets me to this video, where I need you to sit back, relax, and if you ignore this video, you'll likely have some GI issues that I've experienced in the past. And nobody wants that. I will go over what I eat and why I eat it before and during my triathlon racing. If you want to avoid getting GI issues on race day, follow these easy to make meals and my race nutrition. As you know, preparing for a race starts well before race day. There are weeks, if not months of training and preparation, sometimes before you even sign up for the event. Following a well-designed triathlon plan will get you to the start line, but a solid 70.3 nutrition plan will get you across the finish line. If you're not properly fueled, then the most aero bike and the fastest running shoes won't be enough to have you perform at your best. I will be going over the 2 days before my race, and then by the end, go over my race nutrition plan. If you don't care about what I eat before a race, then skip to this timestamp. So 2 days out of the race, I cut out all veggies and complex carbs. I stick with simple carbs such as oatmeal, rice, and potatoes. And then to help my muscles repair and get me ready for race day, I usually stick with eggs or chicken. I'm a pretty boring guy, so for my lunch and dinner, I'll just cut up chicken and mix it with rice and maybe put some hot sauce on for flavoring. That is because I know hot sauce doesn't bother my stomach. Otherwise, I would keep it really bland. So 2 days out for my breakfast, I'll have oatmeal, 2 servings with a scoop of protein, blueberries, and cinnamon. For my lunch and dinner, I'll just have chicken and rice. Pretty simple and boring. 1 day out of the race, it's very similar, but I don't need as much protein because I'm not really working out. So I don't need my muscles to recover from any hard training. So I'll have oatmeal, no protein, and probably just cinnamon and a banana. Lunch and dinner, you guessed it, chicken and rice. Now the day of the race, I'll be starting off with a coffee and an oatmeal with bananas. Banana, not multiple bananas. I'll have 2 servings of oatmeal, which is about 54 grams of carbs, and a banana is about 27 carbs. So the reason why that's important is because your body can only digest between like 60 and 90 grams of carbs, from what I know. So I'll give myself at least an hour and a half before my race to finish my oatmeal. As we get close to the race, I'm gonna change it to gels as my energy source. I usually have 1 gel 30 minutes before my race so that I'm topped off all my glycogen stores for my swim. I know my swim is gonna take about 30 minutes or less, so when I get into transition, I can have another gel to make up for that energy I just burned off in the swim. But because I'm super competitive and don't wanna waste any time in T1, I'm going to actually have my gel on the bike. I usually tape my gels onto the bike so that they're easy to rip off and eat right away if you eat gels. So on the bike, I'll be ingesting about 60 grams of carbs per hour, and I found that this is good for me and my stomach can handle it. Do whatever you've trained and practiced, not change it on race day. To get the roughly 60 grams of carbs on the bike, I'll be eating gummies and gels. I'll be alternating between the two. This gives me a good mix of flavors and doesn't make anything too boring during race day. You should eat a little bit every 20 to 30 minutes. We all know how it feels after eating a large lunch and going back to work. During my Ironman, I actually cycled between 4 things: Cliff Bars, Power Gels, Power Gummies, and Honey Stingers. So with my bike being about 2.5 hours to 3 hours, I'm gonna pack anywhere between 150 and 180 grams of carbs. And this is gonna be between the gummies and the power gels that I usually have. As for hydration, I'll be drinking about 1 full water bottle every single hour, alternating between noon, which is my electrolytes, and plain water, which helps keep my stomach nice and level. So for that 2.5 hour bike, it's gonna be about 1.5 bottles of highly concentrated noon and a full water bottle. Now I say water bottle for me, but I luckily have a very sweet bike where it has an integrated hydration system. So all I have to do is just pop a little tab and squeeze in the water. On the run, I'm gonna have a gel every 30 minutes with caffeine and drink water at every single aid station. Now for me, my racing strategy has always been to walk every single aid station. I take it back. It hasn't always been that way, but I found it really effective to walk the aid stations, eat my food, drink my water, and then move on to racing. Now, this is my plan A for nutrition on race day. I have to have a plan B and a plan C because plan A doesn't always work out. And I had an example of this in my Ironman Arizona race in 2021. I hit a pothole about 2 miles into the bike ride and lost my top tube hydration system, which had highly concentrated Nuun, which was supposed to last me the entire race and give me all the electrolytes I need for my 5.5 hour bike ride. Now, since I lost all of that, I knew that if I didn't have electrolytes, that I needed some. So now I know to pack more, but in the moment, I started drinking Gatorade. And Gatorade is great, and it's really good if you train with it. Now, I have trained with Gatorade in the past, but not to the same extent for a full Ironman. So what I did was I didn't take into account the amount of calories and carbs that are in Gatorade, and I maintained my same nutrition plan, but added more calories and carbs with the Gatorade. And this turned my stomach into knots, and it bothered me the entire ride. Now, my plan B was the Gatorade. My plan C, because I couldn't ingest any gels on the run, was to stick to what triathletes call liquid gold. And if you know what I'm talking about, comment it below before I tell everyone. If you don't, then here it is. Water, Coca-Cola. Liquid gold. This thing gives you fuel, hydration, and caffeine. So it's like the best thing for you if you just need something to like keep you going in a race. And it did a really good job for me. So moral of the story is basically always have a plan A of what you want to do for your nutrition and hydration. Have a backup plan and then a backup plan. If my body couldn't tolerate the liquid gold, then I would have gone to plan D, which is basically walking or waiting for my stomach to digest all the food, and then continue on with the race. Did you know dehydration increases your core body temperature, heart rate, and perceived exertion? All of these are factors that will affect your performance. So drink about 1 water bottle every hour on the bike to avoid this dehydration. Now, everyone's sweat rate is different. Everyone's sweat concentration is different. So if you want to have a sweat test, that's going to really help you dial in how much hydration you actually need. With your hydration and nutrition plan, you need to test this out a lot. You need to have like long bike rides, long brick sessions, long runs, and test out the hydration and nutrition during it so that your gut can be comfortable with whatever you're ingesting. Sometimes you learn that this flavor of this brand of gel that you normally take is totally fine, but then you try the strawberry banana one and it just doesn't sit very well. It has been noted that a large percentage of athletes, up to 70%, experience gastrointestinal or GI problems during a 70.3 race. Drinking and eating is crucial for your performance during this race. So I hope you've learned a little bit of my mistakes in the past and take this to your next race so you can go crush it out there. Now, the reason why I drink coffee every single race morning is because caffeine is a performance-enhancing drug that affects the central nervous system, which increases our pain thresholds and decreases our perception of effort. So you can go out there and race with less pain, not injury pain, but the suffering pain that we all get and experience during a triathlon. If nutrition is not your problem and you need to swim a little faster, then you need to watch this video. Thank you to all my subscribers and people watching this video. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. It really helps get my content to other triathletes looking to improve their performance. What do you call a therapist for cyclists? A psychologist.